Wouldn't recommend ganking early, but they're literally pushing this tower. I'm going to go ahead and go for the ultimate, pushing the buff rather. It'll kill the Nuwa outright, and then I'll be able to kill the Cerberus as well for the double kill. I don't know if we'll be able to catch up to him unless he already used his dash. Wait, him coming up over here probably doesn't know that we're waiting in this bush for him. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with everything I have. Start charging the 2 so that when he dashes, I can launch it at him. And again, this is that same point coming up as before. Don't think about where they are now. Save your abilities, save your damaging abilities for where they will be so that you avoid that situation where you end up throwing an ability and they just dash away, or in terms of Susano, I guess teleports away. He is very low. We should be able to kill him here. I'm going to stay on him, cast the shield, cast the first ability, and that will give me my 7th kill. But you also want to be able to spam them for utility. Now, arriving at this fight, I'm going to go ahead and straight up open with the ultimate onto the Nuwa. She's going to beads it, but I'll be able to teleport right on after her and grant myself that kill. And now Bellona's the only one left, and Jingwei will be able to kill her. And then I'm going to go ahead and buff the Jingwei, give us both some intelligence. And now with 2 of them dead, the Gold Fury is looking like a pretty easy take. Unless they are found out of position as well, and we pick up the kill on the Susano. And now the only one left to do anything about this is going to be the enemy mid laner, who will be able to throw out a second into a first ability and grant Nemesis that kill, and into an easy Gold Fury. Huge one team fight, large amount of mana. You're constantly going to... Oh, he's dead. Look how much damage I'm able to do, and the ultimate will finish him off. Hello, hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm bringing you some Hecate rank gameplay. I always fall back to playing Hecate in mid. She's just so much fun, and she's one of my favorite characters. So yeah, we're playing some Hecate. The build is at the very top of your screen in the form of a screenshot. In case that's the only reason you were here, then there it is. And if you want to hear me talk more about the build, then we'll do that a little bit later. We managed to outclear him, which is interesting. It's probably because we have that conduit gem. And then I'm going to go ahead and miss all of my auto attacks, apparently. I'll hit him with the first ability, and then we'll go clear our camp. But yeah, in this video, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about how to play Hecate. We're going to talk about how to play mid in general. And we're just going to have a fun time later on. I'll talk pretty in-depthly into the build. Also, all of the builds in my current... Well, not current, in my recent videos and every video going forward, the build that I use will be kind of in the Smite auto build system, or Smite God Builder system rather. So you'll be able to, what do you call it? Basically use this build in your next game. A lot of damage I ended up taking from the Susano and the mid laner, but we should be just fine here. I did pop a potion that's going to help me sustain a little bit. We also did quite a lot of damage to him, and maybe if the Nemesis is able to bait out the dash, then we can possibly get a kill. That's his beads down. I'm just waiting for his dash. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the second ability into a first ability, and we'll grab that first blood for us, which is going to be huge because first blood gives you an immense amount of gold. So I'm glad that we were able to pick that up. Very good gank by the Nemesis, especially after the enemy mid laner kind of got a nice little amount of damage at the start, so it made him very confident, and he stepped up way too much. And then after that, I made sure that I stayed up in between him and his tower, so that if he dashed, he had to dash into me. Whereas if I would have just stepped right up to him, just like the Nemesis was, then we probably would have ended up dropping the kill after he dashes through both me and her, and then we have to play catch up. So these are the kind of things that you kind of want to look at whenever you're fighting your enemy. You know, you have to keep track of their cooldowns. When is their dash coming up? How long is their dash? And maybe it's better to sacrifice some damage now to make sure that I cover his escape path. So things like that are going to end up making the difference between being able to I can't talk. Very early in the morning, between being able to catch a kill or watching them walk away at 0 health. So we were able to pick up that kill. Let me just slow down. I think he's DC'd, so I'm just not even going to attempt to fight him because that would be very scummy of me. I'm going to slow down with my talking because apparently I can't keep up with my own mind. And then we'll continue playing out this game. He used his entire clear on me. We managed to get some damage as well. And now with him dashing in, I'm going to purposely walk over his damage, try to get some of the minions to hit him. I'm going to do my large amount of damage. Unfortunately, it won't be enough to catch him, kill him. But I'll get him to back, and he already used his teleport, so he's going to miss this entire minion wave, which is obviously super worth it. I also grabbed my ultimate, and we'll end up backing here, and we'll not have to teleport because I cleared the wave super fast, and he's gone. Anyways, this right here is the auto build. You guys can use it when you're playing Hecate, and I have some of the builds ready for some of the other characters. Someone commented for some of the ADC characters, I did use their copy feature because obviously a lot of ADCs, they build the same because they're just a bunch of auto attacks. As I look over into a gank on the left side, Again, I'm ganking this, even though I wouldn't recommend ganking early, but they're literally pushing this tower. I'm going to go ahead and go for the ultimate, pushing the buff, rather. It'll kill the new wall outright, and then I'll be able to kill the Cerberus as well for the double kill. I don't know if we'll be able to catch up to him unless he already used his dash. And Nemesis is pretty far behind, so I think I'm just going to go and continue to clear the wave. I didn't even miss that much. I missed 2 minions in XP. I'm going to miss maybe 3 or 4 in gold, which is completely fine by me considering I just went over and picked up 2 camps. I mean, you got to be paying attention to your mini-map. There's like so much that I need to talk about this video. You need to be paying attention to your mini-map, right? Usually I wouldn't recommend pulling off a rotation into the dual lane, especially so early on when you have to get this farm. Basically desperately, you should be desperate for farm at this stage of the game. Anywhere you can get it from, whether it be the minion wave, whether it be the camps surrounding the mid lane. Like, you want to be pretty desperate to grab these jungle camps and any type of golden experience that you can get. But when they're pushing something like the your allies or your dual laners camp, they put themselves so far out of position that it's basically a guaranteed 2 kills or a guaranteed assist or a guaranteed kill and an assist or what have you. And a lot of the times that's going to make it worth it. And with the map not being as big as it was in Smite 1, it makes it very easy to pull off something like I did, where I rotate over, get off me, where I rotate over to the duo. I'm going to keep him on me because I see that the Nemesis is coming. So if he doesn't retreat, then he'll die to the Nemesis. But unfortunately, I guess he kind of figured out that he was probably getting rotated on and had no abilities to hit me with. And now that the Aphrodite's here, we should be in no trouble of dying to him. But yeah, when a buff is guaranteed and you can not only help yourself grab some large amount of golden experience, but also help your teammates out like I just did, it makes it quite worth it. Oh, that's actually a pretty decent amount of damage. Nemesis is in the area in case things get dicey, but I don't think we'll need to. They're going to play pretty passive here now that the Afro is here. She did back, and he's getting pretty aggressive. I'm going to start poking him down and doing some good damage. He's going to go on me. I'm going to go ahead and throw the ultimate in, but unfortunately, I missed completely on both of them. Bit of an awkward placement on my part, and now him. I don't know why he went in like that. Unfortunately, he managed to kill the Afro even past my shield, which is unfortunate. All right, I've been talking a lot about a lot of nothing for a while, so I'm going to talk about some of your ability leveling order on Hecate, and then we'll start talking about the build. Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and shield here. This might kill me anyways. I'm trying to buff the tower for some MP5 and HP5. Nemesis might be able to pick up the kill. Oh, that's unfortunate. She didn't. That's honestly my fault. I wasn't paying attention to his positioning, and even after he hit me with that, I really did not think it would kill. The Nemesis probably should have picked him up considering how hard he dove, but at the same time, it's just a lack of patience on the Nemesis side. She used her dash to get to the mid lane closer, therefore she didn't have it once he dashed. And again, it's that kind of thing that I was talking about earlier, where you have to think about it, you know, a couple steps in the future. You don't want to dash to his current location. You want to have that dash to his future location after he dashes. Speaking of the Nemesis, she got ganked by 4 people on her jungle, which is super unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can clear this quickly before they get here. The speed buff would be nice for me, not only for like the golden experience, but also just to have the speed buff around me. Going to help a lot within just juking in lane. A lot of the times it might be the differentiating factor between you getting hit by a high profile ability or not getting hit by it. So it's always nice to have as a mid laner. Also, just again, controlling the jungle camps around the mid lane are going to be your #1 way to staying ahead, right? To gaining a lead, and then also to maintaining a lead once you have one. So these jungle camps are going to be a priority basically for half of the game, up until the very late game, or you're no longer going to be too worried about these camps. I'm going to check into this red buff to see if I can possibly catch him off guard while he's doing it. Throw the ultimate in there. I did get his beads and steal the camp, and unfortunately didn't hit him with it. But, I mean, I got the beads in the camp anyways. Deal some damage and then come over here because I don't want to get rotated on. And then just go back to work as usual. I'll take that. I did sacrifice my ultimate, but I got his beads and his ultimate, or rather his beads and the buff. That's super worth it. And now he's really far pushed up, despite the fact that he has no beads. So he is going to dash under tower, but I'm going to be here waiting. I'm going to hit him with the first ability into the third ability, and that will end up grabbing us that kill for our 4th kill of the match. And give me some leeway to start talking about the leveling order. A little bit late to talk about the leveling order, I know. Leveling order. You're going to level your 1 first every single time, every single game, in Conquest when playing her mid lane. Obviously, if you're playing her in like Assault with Aspect on, you probably want to level the 2. Or if you're playing her as a support, you want to probably level the 2 or the 3. But when you're playing her mid using a damage build, you're going to want to level the 1. And then after, whether you want to level the 2 or the 3, it's kind of up to you. If you're going up against a magic damage dealer, I would always recommend leveling the 3rd ability. The shield is just so important to the way you play Nemesis. Not only is it going to help you up against some of the poke that the enemy can bring, like right now at this very current moment with my shield at level 3, soon to be level 4, if he throws his full combo at me, I'm going to be able to mitigate a large amount of the damage just by casting the shield around myself. Furthermore, like see right here, the shield is around myself. I've greatly mitigated a large amount of the damage that they're both dealing, considering the support and him are both magical. So it's going to end up giving you a lot of value. But not only that, it serves as damage. It serves as close range AoE damage. It serves as long range AoE damage. It's a pretty large amount of damage once you use it for damage. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to ult him once he jumps away. There's the ultimate. It should be able to kill him, and the Cerberus will end up dying to the ultimate now. And it's a nice kill for us. The Aphrodite is helping a lot with her healing. And also that earlier ultimate that also allowed me to not take as much damage as I probably should have. But yeah, so shield first. You can use it for damage, you can use it offensively or defensively, and it ends up being quite good. Also, like, just being able to place that shield onto your enemy who's in the front line fighting, such as a jungler, not only does it, again, do a lot of damage, but it also helps them. It mitigates their damage. So there's just so much utility put onto this ability that you should level it 2nd if you're going up against a mage. If you're going up against someone like a Neith who does physical damage, there really is less of a point into leveling it against them, because this shield only blocks magical damage. Physical damage will cut right through it and just deal damage to you normally. So in those situations, and that's going to happen sometimes but not super duper often, then you're going to want to look into maybe leveling the 2nd ability. That way you can at least get some long range poke on them, since your shield, you'll be using it for poke sometimes and sometimes for defensives. It won't help against physical damage, so you're going to kind of have to read the room. But for the most part, you're going to want to level that shield 2nd in most every situation, unless again you're going up against like an Uller or a Neith or a Medusa in mid. You know, things that people like to pull in mid. A little bit risky for me to walk right through here to get to the lane, but it doesn't look like they're too focused on me. Start talking about some of the builds. Okay, so for starter, or I guess I should mention the build again is part of like the God Builder section. Just look up Daxon. I don't know if I mentioned that. You can look up Daxon whenever you're playing Hecate. Now, someone commented on one of my videos that some of the builds don't come up under Daxon and come up under copy 2 something or other, copy 2 Daxon or something like that, because again, some of the hunter builds are very similar, if not the same, for most hunters. So I used that copy 2 feature and forgot to change the names. So I'll work on fixing that soon, but in case you can't find it under Daxon, maybe try that. But I'll fix it soon. Probably by the time you see this video later on that day, they will be fixed. Also, if you are enjoying this video so far, make sure to like, comment, and specifically subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I post anything from, you know, gameplay. Ooh, wait, they're initiating on me pretty heavily. I'm going to go ahead and have to end up beading this. This is a lot of damage that I'm tanking. I'm going to go ahead and drop the ultimate and push him under tower, but unfortunately, this will end up being me dying. Unfortunately, I don't think the Aphrodite was linked to me because she did have ultimate. I wasn't receiving any healing. That is unfortunate. And I was kind of also out of position without wards, so that's kind of on me. But anyways, like I was mentioning, I post videos like this one, you know, gameplay build videos. I post guides, character guides, like my complete Hecate guide that is already out. I'm going to try to remember to link it somewhere, but if I don't, then just go into my channel playlist section and you'll find all of the guides that I have so far, or even general guides like my complete beginner Smite 2 guide. If any of that interests you, if you want to get better at Smite, if you're trying to learn Smite, then go ahead and subscribe for daily content to help you guys out. And then also you can join the Discord server if you have any further questions for me or need any further help. Or if you just want some friends to play non-toxic, you know, some non-toxic friends to play Smite 2 with, that's the perfect place to do it as well. We have a lovely community. Wait, him coming up over here probably doesn't know that we're waiting in this bush for him. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with everything I have. Start charging the 2 so that when he dashes, I can launch it at him. And again, this is that same point coming up as before. Don't think about where they are now. Save your abilities, save your damaging abilities for where they will be, so that you avoid that situation where you end up throwing an ability and they just dash away, or in terms of Susano, I guess teleports away. He is very low. We should be able to kill him here. I'm going to stay on him, cast the shield, cast the first ability, and that will give me my 7th kill of this match. 7-2 on the Hecate so far. That might actually kill me because, ooh, and he mistimed the ultimate. That is so unfortunate. So New Wall recently got a aspect which allows her ultimate to crit. Usually that would not kill me, that would do negligible damage that I could just brush off, but with that critical strike chance, if that ult crits, it ends up doing quite a lot of damage. And unfortunately I died with the Afro mistiming her ultimate. Anyways, what was I talking about? Join the Discord server. Yeah, non-friendly non-toxic, wait, friendly non-toxic people to play Smite with and to help you guys learn. And you could also play games with me or ask me questions. And then similarly, just the last thing that I have to mention, follow my Twitch if you want to watch live gameplay. I stream live Thursdays and Fridays. It's a fun, different experience where you guys get to just kind of interact with me live, ask any questions directly, and just watch some like true play-by-play commentary type thing. So yeah, all of those things, just all of the links down in the description. It'll help me out a lot. It's free for you and it'll mean the world for me. Anyways, let's start talking about this build because we're running out of time. The Conduit Gem is your starter item. Sands of Time is an option, and that is under the situational items in the build. Sands of Times is an option. I really love a lot of cooldown reduction on Hecate. To be honest, it's probably her most important stat. It's going to go like cooldown reduction, intelligence, and finally like penetration / tank shred is going to be your order of priority when it comes to building. So you're going to want a pretty heavy dose of cooldown reduction to help you spam not only your damaging abilities, but also your heavy utility abilities, right? Your first ability has a stun applied to it. Your third ability is a shield for both you and your allies. Your ultimate will literally ruin an enemy team's positioning. So these things, not only do you want to have them for damage, but you also want to be able to spam them for utility. Now, arriving at this fight, I'm going to go ahead and straight up open with the ultimate onto the Nuwa. She's going to beads it, but I'll be able to teleport right on after her and grant myself that kill. And now Bellona's the only one left, and Jingwei will be able to kill her. And then I'm going to go ahead and buff the Jingwei, give us both some intelligence. And now with two of them dead, the Gold Fury is looking like a pretty easy take. Unless they are found out of position as well, and we pick up the kill on the Susano. And now the only one left to do anything about this is going to be the enemy mid laner, who will be able to throw out a second into a first ability and grant Nemesis that kill. And into an easy Gold Fury. Huge one-team fight for us. And now this Gold Fury is going to push our lead even further. Whereas right now we're even in gold off of winning that. With this Gold Fury, we'll be ahead in gold as a team. And it's a good start into a lot of good things this match. So yeah, Conduit Gem, it's going to help you tremendously in the early game. The amount of clear that you're going to gain and bonus poke damage that you're going to gain a lot of the times outweigh the cooldown reduction from Sands of Time. And usually I would go Sands of Time if you have good clear, but Hecate's clear is so lackluster in the early game that it makes it really hard to function up against a high clearing mage. Now in some situations, like you're going up against someone that has really bad clear, like I don't know, Asilla, then you can go Sands of Time, and I would actually recommend that you go Sands of Time in a situation like that. Ooh, nice ultimate to not steal the Pyromancer and now put you in the most awful of positions. I'm going to be able to just completely fire off every ability at this Bellona, ending up killing her with the ultimate. And we also got the Pyromancer. She was just a constellation price. 10 kills in, and now have a pretty decent lead over our enemy in terms of me over the poor enemy mid laner. We're completely far ahead. Just insurmountably far ahead, and then us as a team have a pretty decent lead and hold on this game at this point. Yeah, Sands of Time if you're going up against someone with pretty bad clear, and then Conduit Gem if you're going to need that extra pressure. And again, usually I would say play for the late game, and that cooldown reduction is super important. But I think that if you don't have good clear and pressure early to clear these jungle camps, to clear these waves efficiently, then that could lead to you being far behind and make it hard for you to get to late game and get some of the other items that you desperately need. So you kind of have to play by ear. If you're really good at playing just really far back and just clearing the wave, really good at just keeping your distance and positioning, and you don't play aggressive like I do, because I like to play really aggressive, as you can tell by my 10 kills and 3 deaths, then you can go the Sands of Time. Or if you like to play really super aggressive, but they have no clear, like the enemy mid laner doesn't have clear, then I really recommend Sands of Time, because that cooldown reduction from your starter item is very good. Now he's really out of position. I unfortunately missed my one, and also their support is here, so now I'm gonna have to back up. I'm looking for a moment to use my ultimate, and I was able to find it. And now I'll be able to kill this guy with one final auto attack for my 11th kill of the match, and I have to move it along. Okay, Book of Thoth. I want to kind of rant about Book of Thoth a little bit, because A lot of people have been opting to not going Book of Thoth ever since they reduced the flat penetration. And I will say this, flat penetration is very important, very overpowered, a very good stat. Even in small amounts, flat penetration does a lot for you, especially in the early to mid game. So once they removed that flat pen, it was a pretty huge blow. And I understand that. But what people don't, so people are saying Book of Thoth is bad ever since Book of Thoth lost its flat pen. And while that is true that Book of Thoth is obviously not as good without that flat pen, it doesn't mean it's bad. So I'm going to go a little bit in depth into what this item does. This item will give you an immense amount of mana and make it impossible for you to run out of mana once fully stacked. And then it will convert, I think, 6% of that mana once you have it fully stacked into intelligence, right? So flat, when you look at this item flatly, right, you just read it, it gives you 30 intelligence, and that's not a lot of power when there are items in this game that give you 100, right? Something like a Desolation will give you 100 intelligence. But that's on the higher spectrum. The highest item that you can have in terms of intelligence is going to be, what is that one item? Necronomicon, and you have to keep up those stacks, right? You're going to get 3 stacks in Necronomicon and get it, I think it's 200 intelligence, and you're going to lose them the minute you die. And even me, where I'm having such a great game, we just got Fire Giant, I'm 11 kills in, I'm still able to be killed. And once I lose those stacks, it's going to basically give me 50 intelligence until I'm able to gain them all back. Well, not all, but you know, until I'm able to gain them back. So it makes it really hard to kind of play that in a viable match. Now, if you're completely stomping, it is in the recommended or situational item. So if you're completely stomping them and will not die, then you can use that, and that ends up being quite efficient. But in most cases, in a match playing Hecate against good players, as we killed the Bellona, she is not one of the good players that I'm talking about, then you will probably end up dying once in a while. Nice kill on the Cerberus by the Aphrodite. And a lot of the times, just due to the character not having an escape, sometimes it will be out of your control, and losing those Necronomicon stacks is going to hurt. Now, Book of Thoth, on the other hand, will, once fully stacked, it's kind of deceptive because, again, if you just look at the item base form, oh, he's going to die. I don't know why he's going in on me. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the entire combo. I'll be able to kill the Susano, and our ADC will be able to kill the other person that was right in front of me. And now it's just this Nuwa left, who I'm hoping to be able to catch up to, unless I miss all of my abilities and get baited by her fog. Hopefully that's enough damage. Not enough damage. Copy. And now she won't ever let me catch ground on her. And unfortunately, with Cerberus and so many of them being up so soon, we're not going to be able to end. But next push, we should be able to end this game off. Anyways, it's kind of deceptive because Book of Thoth only offers 30 intelligence on paper. But once you fully stack it, just with the item alone, it's going to give you like 100 and I think 107 intelligence just from that one item alone. And then if you build any other items that have mana, then they add to that passive and give you more power. In this specific build that I cooked up for you guys in the auto build, the one that I'm using right now, you're going to have more items that have the mana, right? Max mana. And with all of them calculated, you're going to go over 500 mana from other items apart from Book of Thoth. And that's going to bring you up to 140 intelligence from this item. And that's at 500 mana from other items. You get a little bit more than that, so it's going to be a little bit more than 140 intelligence. And this is going to be 140 intelligence from one singular item that you will have forever. Whereas something like an Necronomicon, you only have it for as long as you stay without dying, having 3 stacks on it. And then also something like a Doomore will give you some pretty large amount of power as well, as long as you keep it stacked. So that's what I need people to understand, that with Book of Thoth, once you grab this large amount of intelligence and large amount of mana, you're constantly going to... Oh, he's dead. Look how much damage I'm able to do, and the ultimate will finish him off. And now going over to this fight, we might be able to catch up to them. But anyways, like I was saying, because I fear I don't have much time to talk about the build, and I'm still on the first item. But yeah, so Book of Thoth, you'll have that intelligence forever once you get it stacked. You will not lose that intelligence, and you'll have the ability to constantly cast abilities without worrying about your mana forever. Whereas something like a Necronomicon and a Doom Orb sure can give you a pretty large amount of intelligence, but it's very conditional, right? It's conditional of you getting a kill and stacking up Doom Orb in the late game or clearing a minion wave. Necronomicon is conditional on you literally never dying. So those are the things that you have to keep in mind. Now, Soul Gem, again, I mentioned that the priority for itemization is going to be cooldown reduction, intelligence, and some tank shred late game. This will give you that cooldown reduction. It'll give you some intelligence. That ultimate should kill her. Nice. We able to pick up the Nuwa. And now with two of them being dead for such a long time and Bologna looking like she's on her way out too, it's looking like we're going to get this win here. So yeah, Soul Gem is going to give you cooldown reduction, intelligence, and it's also going to give you some nice early game sustain, which helps make up for the fact that Hecate doesn't have any escape or real repositioning. Helps kind of deal with some of the poke. That coupled with your shield is kind of able to allow you to just not take as much poke as one regularly would, or to mitigate some of the poke that you're taking. Soul Gem is the differentiating factor between you being able to stay for that extra camp or not, between you being able to, what do you call it, stay for that extra wave, right? It's not just as simple as you gain healing. It's this healing allows you to do what exactly? After that, we go into the Desolation. Spirit Desolation is just super overpowered. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It gives you 100 intelligence, which is on the high spectrum of intelligence items that you don't have to stack. You just get 100 intelligence. And then 10 cooldown reduction, again, prioritizing cooldown reduction. And then the passive, when you get a kill, you're going to get 3 seconds off of all your abilities. It ends up working quite well. And if you manage to get a kill or an assist, it gives you basically your abilities back right on the spot, especially when coupled with other cooldown reduction items, which we do have. After that, you're going to start wanting to get into that realm of being able to deal with some of the tankier characters. You're going to have the support in your lane more and more often. You're going to be grouping around Gold Fury and Pyromancer. You're going to be able to, or you're going to need to have some answers to the enemy's tankier, tankier characters. Totem of Death is oftentimes going to be the very best choice for you, because not only does it give you cooldown reduction, it gives you intelligence, but it gives you that wonderful passive where when you use an ability, you place a stack on an enemy and it reduces their protections. Now, the important distinction between this item and Obsidian when you're choosing which one to get is two things. One, this one gives you cooldown reduction, Obsidian does not. And two, and most importantly, this one reduces their magical protections. So that means that when you reduce their magic protections, your support is going to benefit from it. If you're, jungler, solo, or ADC are magical damage, which often does happen in Smite 2, they're going to benefit from it. The tower Phoenix is going to benefit from it. It ends up being quite important. And also with a character like Hecate, you're able to stack this pretty efficiently due to your first ability's passive. So on top of the fact that you have pretty high cooldown reduction now and you can constantly spam abilities to gain stacks, you also have that first ability in Hex form that does ticks of magical damage, which allows you to basically stack this just with that first ability on its own. And then every ability after that with low cooldown reduction will be benefiting from that increased penetration. After that, Cosmic is oftentimes a great choice. You have your penetration. You want to work on some heavy cooldown reduction in the late game, heavy power. That's perfect item is Cosmic, Horror. And then finally, Rod of Tahuti to cap it off. Rod of Tahuti is just going to help take advantage of all of the intelligence that you've built for your entire build. It's going to be the absolute highest amount of late game intelligence that you can get. And when the game goes super long, the better this item gets, right? And also it gives you some max mana, so it works with Book of Thoth. That's the build. There are some situational items. Again, Sands of Time if you want some early cooldown reduction, if you're going up against someone without clear. Necronomicon if you're 14-0. We got close to 14-0 this game. We're 14-3. If you're just not dying and just they don't have any characters that can just pressure you, then go Necronomicon, grab yourself that power. If you're a Book of Thoth hater, even after I addressed why Book of Thoth is still a great pickup, then you can go something like a Doom Orb, or you can go straight into the Desolation. If you're going a build without enough cooldown reduction to take advantage of the Totem of Death, then you can go for the Obsidian Shard. If you need some anti-heal, the Divine Ruins there. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at that build, use it in your next match. I rambled for long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys enjoyed that rank game. I hope you learned something. And yeah, join the Discord, subscribe, follow the Twitch, check out the channel. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.